No fear of an apocalypse. The revelation from Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants what must soon take place. Revelation as a radiant bridge connecting the earthly realm below to the glorified presence of Jesus Christ above. Divine chain of command. The message moves from God to Jesus to an angel to John, then to believers. This shows God's servants what must soon take place. The vision of the glorified Christ. When John turns to see the voice speaking to him, he doesn't see the humble Lamb of God, or the dusty carpenter from Nazareth. He sees the glorified King. The lampstand symbolizes Jesus is actively present in the midst of his churches. Jesus' white hair, head, symbolizes purity, eternal nature, and divine wisdom. Eyes like bronze fire symbolizes all-consuming holiness and the ability to see the truth clearly. Feet like bronze symbolizes stability and the power to judge or trample evil. Voice like rushing waters symbolizes authority that drowns out all other worldly noise. When John saw Jesus, he fell at his feet. Then Jesus placed his right hand on him and said, "Do not be afraid. I am the first and the last. I am the living one. I was dead, and now look. I am alive forever and ever, and I hold the keys of death and Hades." Revelation serves as an introduction to the risen, glorified Christ, and the purpose of the book provides a vision of assurance to believers, emphasizing that Jesus is the sovereign Lord who holds history and the church in his hands. Jesus is sovereign over time and history. The revelation of Jesus Christ must soon take place, not chaotic, but a moving towards a divine purpose directed by Jesus. Highlights the urgency and certainty of God's plan, that when it begins, it will move rapidly. Christ is present and active in his church. John sees Jesus walking among 7 golden lampstands, which are explained to be the 7 churches. The church is never abandoned or forgotten. Jesus is actively present, observant, and intimately involved in the lives of his people, regardless of their struggles or persecution. Christ is eternal, victorious, Alpha and Omega, the living one, and the one who has the keys of death and Hades. Jesus is alive forevermore, the resurrection, and holds the keys to death. Believers do not need to fear death or the grave. He has ultimate victory over the worst that can happen to a human. Summary application. The main takeaway from this passage is to live in expectation and confidence, not in fear. It is a call to trust that Christ is sovereign over all circumstances, that he is actively watching over his church, and that he has already won the final victory. Believers are to live in expectation and confidence, not in fear. Trust that Christ is sovereign over all circumstances. He is actively watching over his church, and he has already won the final victory. Christ is the center of Revelation is not primarily about future dates, beasts, or plagues. It is about the nature, return, and reign of Jesus Christ. The book of Revelation is complete. It leads to a deeper knowledge and worship of Jesus. The fear-dispelling power of the risen Christ. When John sees the brilliant, powerful vision of Jesus, he falls down as if dead. Jesus lays his right hand on him and says, "Fear not." When we are overwhelmed by fear, anxiety, or circumstances, we are to rely on the comforting, strengthening touch of Jesus. His presence removes fear, providing peace in the midst of trials. Christ is eternal, victorious, and proclaims himself as the first and the last, the living one, and the one who has the keys of death and Hades. Jesus is alive forevermore, the resurrection, and holds the keys to death. Believers need no fear of death or the grave. Christ has victory over it.